Hello, 246 subscribers, New Mutants, written by Hickman this week. We'll get Ed Brisson back at some point in time, but his story from last month was respected. That moment where we thought the Starjammers got their egg back, it was a ruse, a ploy, a plot, a conspiracy, a sham. They were conned, hoodwinked, bamboozled, had the wool pulled over their eyes even, to quote one Jim Cornette. That one episode where Triple H laid down for Shawn Michaels for the coveted European Championship in December 23, 1997. Because actually, Ray and Sinclair put the egg inside of Mondo. That's where it is right now. So I like to see that these guys are a team. They probably know how each other think and they work together accordingly. And they're good guys. So good needs to win all the time. That's how I like my heroes being written. I don't like them being written... I guess I'm skipping a part with them punching each other in the face with Robbie. What was that all about? Like in the beginning because they were in court, they lost a court case, bad lawyer, and they got taken under custody of fucking Smasher. They meet who it was that they're given to. There was a nice little suspenseful moment where who's it going to be? I hope there's no glare, but you can see a hug being done to Sam, everyone but Robbie. He needed to be punched in the face. Even Ileana said, I would have punched him in the face myself. Smasher actually does get to punch him in the face herself. Like, what's going on? When were they ever like that? That was odd to me. But because they're her property, she's going to use them for her next mission. According to the Gladiator, you got to go find Zandra's new teacher. Zandra, I believe, maybe wrong, is from Mr. and Mrs. X. Even though I read that first full arc of it in one ear and out the other. So I believe she was that kid who was next in line to become the magister, the ruler. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Either way, I can make this point. I don't like that Gladiator was just given, Marvel sliding timeline of 11 years. I don't like that he was just given this position after the end of War of Kings. And they built up to it with the Vulcan story, but he just became the leader. We don't need to be changing rulership. Same with Spider-Man and Wilson Fisk. And this hasn't happened, so I'm complaining about something that doesn't exist yet. I'm very aware. But I would hate if Wilson Fisk is no longer the mayor because he loses an election. That would have meant that 4 years have passed in that universe. And how could 4 years pass for Peter without him aging 4 years, without the rest of Marvel and Daredevil and everybody aging 4 years? If time moves for young characters to age, like Kamala, Miles just had a birthday in like 4 issues ago, and that made me drop that book. But like when time passes, that pisses me off because why isn't Tony or why isn't I look over here for more inspiration, right? I see a vampire who's from the 1920s. I see an Asgardian. I see Captain America with secret formula. She's got the Kree blood. I'm like, okay, why hasn't... Okay, T'Challa. He's the one there. Why hasn't he aged? That was funny, though. So why am I talking about this? Because the Magister... I just don't want time to have passed. They can't be thinking about Zandra being the next in line, in my subjective opinion. They're looking for Deathbird to be in charge of teaching her and grooming her. Deathbird is someone that Robbie finds hot. Sam has his woman being from space, a Shi'ar guardian, and so will Robbie. That's interesting. Nothing more though. I was gonna say this is not true. I was gonna say that Deathbird was part of that commando kill unit that killed Rachel Gray's family in issue 467. I remember that because Chris Bachalo drew it, and that's the only Chris Bachalo book I ever liked because it was a good book based on the writer, whoever wrote at that period of time. Might have been Claremont. 467. Yeah, that's it. So that's the subscribe button there. But more importantly is the Who is Ironheart video over here. I worked hard on it. It's everything about the character from 2016 to 2019, including the issue that came out this Wednesday.